Hi Lumineers, welcome to the Lighter Side Show. I'm your host, Jamie Butler, the Everyday Medium. And I have pulled from the studio today our one and only Colleen Ziegler. She's going to be conversing with us about dreams, and she doesn't know it yet. So, not prepared, kind of prepared.
It's okay. I actually kind of like being in this position sometimes. I do. But I do like that you're introducing me as not knowing what I'm doing.
Yes.
Because I truly don't. It's not a game.
It's not a game.
It's not a charade.
I said, guess what? Sit down, because I have some conversations to have, and I think that you would be a perfect person to have them with.
I'm ready to have them.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Well, do we have any housekeeping notes? We do. We have some on our online classes. We have a basic class in January on the 13th and 20th, Friday afternoons for Eastern Standard Time, and that's online at Learn It
Friday
Live.
mornings.
Oh, Friday mornings for some people. It's world. You be anywhere in the comfort of your house.
For Eastern Standard Time, it's 10 to noon. You can say that again.
You're listening, Lumineers. You got it. And we have an intermediate mediumship class, and that is in February, the last Friday and the first Friday of March. And this is all leading up to the advanced mediumship class, where you'll be learning how to channel, like trans-channel. Yeah. And that's going to be live in Atlanta, and that is on March 24th through the 26th.
I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about, come see us.
Oh, please come see us. And then we don't have to just look at
You get to hang out at the center, and
I'm going to put you to work.
it's going to be fun.
If you've been in any of my classes, you know I kind of have a boutique style. I like to give you the things that you need to do your lessons. So I ship you a little swag bag, but I also put you to work. So it's not just about listening. I want you to really get a grasp of how you're learning and how you're processing that information and how it can translate into a belief system for you so that you can use your abilities every day. Everyday medium, all the time. Just like you're smelling, seeing, touching, tasting, this needs to be every day. But today, we're going to talk about dreams and dream translation. So I brought up Colleen because I wanted to ask Colleen if she can remember any dreams. I'm making her share in front of all of her friends.
Wow.
If you can remember any dream that you have had.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why can you remember those dreams?
There are a couple dreams I think that I remember because I wrote them in I had kept a dream journal.
You did?
For about a year. Could have been more like 6 months. It feels like a year. Yeah. So I kept a dream journal, and I've gone back and looked at it, and I remember those dreams because I wrote them down and I've reread.
Was it beneficial for you to log your dreams down and remember them?
Yes.
Without logging or journaling your dreams, do you have any that you have remembered or held on to?
Yes. Do I want to share them? Probably not.
Oh, I tried for you guys.
That's getting kind of personal,
Yeah?
But I'll share some of the other ones.
No, that's a great comment. So you said it was really personal.
Dreams are personal, yeah, because I think that they drag stuff up out of your subconscious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there are 4 different styles of dreams. We have our daydream, which is something I do frequently. In fact, the average person daydreams probably 70 to 100 minutes a day. So healthy daydreaming, hopefully not while you're driving. But we have our daydreams, we have those normal dreams at night, the ones where we're sleeping, we don't know that we're dreaming, we wake up and we say, oh, I had a dream. That's like a normal dream.
I love that they're called normal dreams.
Yeah, the normal, because I want to kind of...
Because they're weird.
They're weird as all get out, aren't they? But I want to separate them from lucid dreaming.
Yes.
Which is where you're having a dream when you're asleep, but you're completely aware of it, and you can manipulate it, you can
Wake yourself up.
you can wake yourself up. And then we have nightmares, where different responses are happening in these dreams. We're being chased, we're being pushed. There's a different chemical response that happens in nightmares. So I like to use the sleeping dream as the normal dream. And then we have the daydream, lucid, and nightmare.
Like those dreams where you wake up and you're tired from your dreams. You had those?
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I did all that work and I didn't get paid for it at night.
But are those categorized as nightmares? Because you're having a different chemical reaction in those kinds of dreams.
They could,
They could be.
absolutely.
Even if they're
But-
not the scary Freddy Krueger.
Right,
Nightmare,
lucid
okay.
dreaming, though, also has a different chemical reaction because you're consciously aware of subconsciously what's going on.
It's fascinating.
Be-doo-dee-doo.
Lucid dreaming is the dreaming that they say that you can kind of plan out in your head before you go to sleep. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Or you can
Definitely
take
gonna talk
certain
about that.
herbs to.
Hey, what herbs are you talking
Can-
about, Colleen?
Well, there's herbs that you can take for lucid dreaming.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely there is. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Lumineers, I can't remember
We're
what they're
going to
called.
research that.
But there's like some kind of blue mushroom or. Okay, cut.
All
Do
right,
not-
Alice. No, I'm not cutting this one. All right, Alice.
There is
Eat from
some
this pocket and then from
Well, because I have a little bit of a background in herbs, I've
very
seen
true.
different herbs that people claim to use for lucid dreaming, and I'm not talking about illegal substances. I'm talking about, actual herbs that either shamans use.
That's great. I didn't know that.
We can look it up, but
We'll
one
look
of
it
it's
up and
one
we'll
of it's
post
like a blue something. I know.
You know the mushrooms with the blue stripe around
haven't
the stem
taken them.
is not for lucid
Yeah.
dreaming.
I haven't. I didn't want to go down that route.
So let's talk about daydreaming first, and then we'll kind of work our way through things. Daydreaming is happening when you're still conscious. You're definitely not asleep, but what's happening is your subconscious is kind of sneaking up on your consciousness, and it could be triggered by a thought or a memory or a fantasy, anything that's come in that you've kind of latched onto logically or consciously, and then it kind of merges this creative brain. So the creative active brain becomes alive, and the more that you dive into this space, the deeper the daydream and the further away you become from your physical awareness. That's like when you're driving. This is a bit like a trance state first level. When you're driving the car and you start thinking and daydreaming about what's happening, and you're really in it, and all of a sudden you go, and you come to,
Yeah,
but
like I just drove 5 miles
Yeah.
and I don't remember it.
don't
Yeah.
remember anything. Don't remember shifting gears, putting the blinker on, but yet I'm still okay and I didn't get in a wreck. So distance from the physical body. I know, it's so awesome.
That's some weird stuff where you're like on a road trip and you just drove 3 hours and you don't remember how.
3 hours.
I am
be
such
taking
an
that blue mushroom.
exaggerator. When you're on the road trip and you took that blue mushroom and you can't remember anything.
And it's gone. But the great thing about the daydreaming is I find it's very much connected to your manifestation skills. Right? Because if you can
Absolutely.
visualize it and see it and act it out in your head, then you can manifest and create it in your life. So a lot of daydreaming on, I'm going to win that race, I'm going to get that promotion, I'm going to earn this or do that or succeed in such and such, it is actually filing away in subconscious land that it's already happened. So when you go to do it in real life, it's as if you've practiced that activity or that winning or that success or that muscle again and again and again in real time, and therefore it's a little easier to step into your success.
What do you think the biggest difference between daydreaming and intentional manifestation is? Do you think that the daydreaming is more of an unconscious type of behavior and the manifestation is actually a very conscious stream?
I would agree with that, but maybe not as unconscious, but where if we're daydreaming and we're including these things that we want to manifest in our life, we're allowing our subconscious to come forward and sign on to those beliefs and play it out. So it's active work time on a subconscious level that you don't have to do when you're focused intently on visualization or manifestation in a conscious way. You're not including those other layers or levels. So that would be played out in a normal dream. So you would have a normal dream that you won or took on that race or succeeded, and you wake up and go, I feel really good about that. But you can have those in your daydreams, and they work extremely well in manifestation. So turn off the camera right now. Turn off your computer. Go daydream. Get out of here. Go. Skit. Go find some blue mushrooms. I wanted to mention one more thing about daydreaming while I'm making Colleen research her blue mushroom, that when we're daydreaming, I mentioned the subconscious comes up, and subconscious sometimes is where our deep fears or worries, or maybe even memories that we don't like connecting to rest, and they can come to the surface. So a lot of us will call it like a haunting thought or a miserable daydream, or even be upset with yourself, like, why am I even thinking that? That has nothing to do with what's happening. But what's great about these little moments is that you can manually take that daydream, put a positive spin on it, and rewrite the story of what that haunting thought or that memory that the subconscious was carrying for you. So you can end up curing, pacifying, and healing those worries, those old awful thoughts, those haunting things, to where when you tap back into daydreaming, they don't even come back to the surface anymore. So how's that for self-therapy? Be strong with those positive thoughts.
Another way that the body naturally takes care of things on its own.
Yes.
I actually heard, and I don't know the exact facts around this, but some pharmaceuticals that are taken for depression and anxiety actually stop your dreams.
They do.
And people will not dream for several years while on them. And that cannot be natural therapy.
That cannot be natural therapy. Yes,
I don't know how else to word that.
There are several chemicals that can stop you from accessing REM, having dreams, having daydreams even. It kind of numbs you out. And there's a list of them. You can find them online. I encourage you to research them if you find that you're in that position. But often these chemicals react differently to each person.
Exactly.
So if I were to spend the time to list and talk about them, it might not fit you individually, but definitely go to your physician, ask them about it, because I feel that dreaming is extremely important in self-counseling and healing. And if you're not having them, you can't bring them to the surface, start to ask why. What are you doing? What are you taking? Maybe it's that blue mushroom.
Blue Lotus. I looked it up.
Blue Lotus! That's even better!
And I will say once again, I have never taken Blue Lotus, nor am I advocating that you go out and find Blue Lotus and take it, because I don't know anything about it.
You don't know anything about it.
I just know that I had read about it. And
It's just somewhere in here.
but it is Blue Lotus, and it's legal, and you can take it for your dreams.
There you go. You don't even have to
Lucid
go out
dreaming.
into a cow field.
No, you don't have to go in a cow field. Jamie. I can totally see you in a cow field, like crunching down with flashlight.
Yeah, I've done
I can. I know. I can see you doing it.
Anyways,
Yeah.
let's talk about some normal dreams. So normal
Let's talk
dreams.
about 'em.
Let's talk about them. Are you singing that song?
Talk about it. I don't know. It's okay.
I won't sing it. It's a bad earworm. Let's talk about those normal dreams. These are the ones that are happening at night when you're going to bed, and you don't realize that you're in a dream until you wake up and go, "Ah, that was a weird dream." Hello, subconscious, seeping into the consciousness and really cutting loose. So take your daydreams, times them by 100 of everything that can happen, and these are the ones that are very valuable to translate. What's that, Lumineers? How do I translate a dream? Let's talk about that. So where's the person with the pipe? I need a pipe for this. Props?
Do you want me to lay down? And you're going to be like Freud or something? And again, you're going to translate my dream. I've heard of so many different ways of looking at dreams.
Yes.
I would like to know a little bit, and I'm sure the Lumineers would as well, because I'm speaking for the Lumineers here. I can't remember what I was going to say.
She's speaking for the Lumineers. How do you,
Oh,
how do you translate?
how not only do you translate, but how spirit comes through, how you're actually kind of stepping into another realm when you dream.
Okay, so if we're looking at normal dreaming,
That's not
that your consciousness is not going to be involved in. Your subconscious is playing out maybe something that happened the day before, or even a week before, or something that you haven't resolved from your past and it was triggered recently, and it's trying to play it out. And it will do so through symbols, signs. It does so in ways that won't logically make sense because it's not using your consciousness. It's using subconscious to flush it out of the system. That's why it's so fun to translate, because it's kind of really straight to the point and authentic. But you got to know which way you want to look at it. So Freud says you play every role in your dream. And it's all about
You. And sex.
egocentric. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about you and it's all about sex. It's just all about
Well, I mean,
all
that's what he was going for.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's other ways of looking at it that, in fact, you don't play every role and that you might be the observer and that you're witnessing everything being laid out in front of you. So first, do some research. How do you want to approach dreams? What kind of philosophy are you going to sign up for? Because that's going to dictate how you can translate your dreams. Okay, so start there. Now, let's look at Colleen's question. You talked about spirit showing up in normal dreams. They can, but consciously, it wouldn't make sense to us because we're not lucid dreaming. We won't recognize that they are dead, so therefore it won't register to us that they were once alive or that anything of that nature had happened. We could be picking up on an old memory and we could be playing out an old situation, which is great for problem solving, but not really great in communication. But it's those lucid dreams that are so valuable because that's when you see your loved one, your pet, whoever it is, and you go, I know you and you're dead. What are you doing here? It's great to see you. And you hug and embrace and you walk arm in arm and you're like, that's just wonderful.
So that can only happen in a lucid dream. That's not going to happen in a normal dream. A normal dream, if you see someone who has passed, it's going to be more of an old memory coming up.
Most
Is that my
likely,
understanding?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Most likely, we're painting that in general picture because your consciousness it's not involved, and it's not going to go, oh, Colleen, remember that person's dead, and then you go, oh my God, it's so crazy that I'm seeing you because in my belief system, when you're dead, I never get to see your body ever again. So your belief systems still play out in your dream state, unless it's lucid dreaming, because when you're conscious, you can break your belief systems. Right? You can manually take them apart and go, okay, I know you're dead, but I'm still looking at you. This is crazy.
And what a greater place to do that than in a lucid dream.
Yes,
Because that's when you can really go there
with Blue Lotus.
with the Blue Lotus. Again, no idea about this stuff. I don't want anyone going and taking that stuff and writing me an email and telling me how crazy it was and that I gave you terrible advice.
So when we get into translating dreams, it gets kind of, fun, addictive, and disappointing. It does. Because what I believe in is going to be something different than what you believe in. So even if we have some great books, the complete book of dream interpretation, the mystical, magical, marvelous world of dreams, it is true because if you have dreamed, I open up to death and dying.
You did. That's been the theme of that's the theme of a lot of days.
It's just my work. So if you dream about the death of yourself,
Have you ever dreamed about your own death?
yes, I have.
You have, and you were dead.
I was dead.
So where were you?
I was alive in the dream, but I was dead in the dream too.
Because I've never understood that. I've never understood how you can die in a dream and see yourself dead, because then where are you?
I didn't get to witness my death, but I knew I was dying, so I left the room.
Got it.
And then I came back and my body was dead, but I was alive. And I was talking to all the people, telling them that it was okay that I was dead because
Yeah.
I was still here. Of course, they were confused, but I was fine.
But could they see you?
Yeah, well, they were talking to me like I was just normal, but my body was in the bed. Just bizarre. That's the uncoded, unconscious language of dreams. Colleen's that's gonna be her favorite phrase. Oh my gosh. That's gonna be Colleen's favorite phrase from here on out.
The unconscious coded language of dreams?
Yeah.
Is that it? Something else isn't. Coded language, unconscious mind.
So death of self for me is new beginning, but death of self for you might be something completely different. This might trigger a different kind of fear. This might be abandonment. This might be all kinds of issues. So just like you're getting to know subtle light energy, just like you're getting to know chakras and healing techniques and belief systems and what's beyond and what's everywhere, Same with symbols and dreams, talismans, amulets. Whatever you believe in is going to be your truth. That sounds familiar.
What you believe in is your only truth, and knowledge is your only
I
limit.
wonder where I heard that before. It's brilliant. I really like that. Thank you. Goofy Jamie today. So, even if
Is that the same colors?
it is the same, that must be the dream color. If you write
It's
a
not
dream
the same
book,
author, is it?
no. Robert Rain Pelton.
Are they both from like the 70s
Will
or
the
80s?
Tanner. Oh, I don't think. Here, you look in that one, and I'll look in this one. 1987. 1983.
1988.
You think I'd get a new one by
It's the
now?
colors of the 80s, for sure. Which one is your kind of your go-to?
My
Jamie
go-to? I've
Butler's-
used this one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the complete book of dream interpretation. But there's so many out there. And I encourage, go for the highest ranking one on Amazon or Books A Million or whatever's out there these days, Barnes and Nobles, whatnot. And then once you are with a dream that you want to interpret, decide, are you the observer or what role are you playing in the dream? Because then that will give you how you're interacting with what you're trying to translate. So let's say if I had a dream about a horse and the horse was running across the field. Am I the horse? Or am I viewing the horse? Was I the owner of the horse? Where was I in comparison to the dream? Let's say I was an observer and I saw the horse and it was a white horse. Well, horses represent change, strength, change, fluidity, and strength. So they're a pretty powerful image to be dreaming about. And then I have to look at that it's a white horse. So I would take in consideration that white has a pure light. So that means I would be getting to the truth of things. I would be authentic. I would be vulnerable as I was making these changes. And then I would look at the state of the environment. Was it a sunny dream? Was it clear? Was the grass green and healthy? Then I would say, yes, it was. It was green. The sky was blue. We were coming over a hill. There was a great view. So that would let me know that I'm going to see everything that's coming at me, what I'm about to change, that it's going to be good timing, good weather, so that my environment's going to be supporting me in that change. And therefore I could then take from that information of that dream that what I'm doing in my awake state in my life, that it's going to be all okay. But I definitely have to make the change. I have to make it consciously, and I have to be real honest about it. No white lies. Even if the horse was white, it doesn't mean you can white lie. Absolute honesty. So that can be a valuable tool for me in knowing how to approach what's happening in my day-to-day life. But let's say if I was the horse, and I was the one running, and let's say the horse was brown, and let's say it was winter and there was nothing green on the trees, or maybe that it was snowing. So if I was the horse and I was running, and I could see through the horse's eyes and that I was brown, then I would take that as meaning that I am needing to change, but I'm running from it. I'm not staying grounded to it because brown is being grounded and rooted, like of the earth, that I'm avoiding it because I'm in constant motion and I'm not being with it. Then I would look at the surroundings. Remember I said it was winter, nothing's really green, nothing's alive, and the snow is coming in. There's not a lot of new life and growth when snow comes in. So it would tell me I need to sit still. I really need to look at what has to change and why am I running from it, and get really grounded and wait for it to happen. So I would approach my life and that decision extremely different if I saw my dream that way. So it's got to be up to you, but books like this are very wonderful in at least identifying maybe the basic core things like a horse means change, or that a bird is a messenger, or what else? I was trying to think of, what else?
I was looking at so many. I was thinking for me too, in my own personal experience when I've looked up dreams, it's really what resonates with you
Yes.
too. So if I dreamt about, I'm just happen to be looking at a coffee pot here, and I go, oh, often associated with hospitality, and I go, you know what, that doesn't sit with me. That's not what was going on at all. Then you go on to the next thing. It's really what resonates with you, because all of a sudden something will really open up and you'll go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what that was about. And then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, that happened last week, and this is how I'm dealing with it, and I really shoved that down.
Yeah, that's
You
big
know,
time.
yeah.
This is the number one thing when you're doing anything is exactly what Colleen said. You've got to take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, it's not for you. And I think a lot of us get a little
And you can't
weirded
pretend
out
like
by
it is. Yeah.
Right. We're like, well, you mean it just matters if I like it or not? Then I must be manipulating the situation or steering it the way that I need it. But that's the ease of all this energy work. So a lot of people might be thinking that I'm controlling the situation because if I'm only going by what I like or what I resonate with, then I'm only going to give myself what I need. But that's not it. We're not asking you to forcefully or logically identify what you like. We're asking you what resonates with you. And that's kind of what jumps on you. It's what your heart does. It's what your subtle energy goes. That fits. Even if your head goes, oh, no, that doesn't fit. I don't like that. But you're like, I'm still attracted to it. That fits.
It's like
Then you have to
trusting your
take that
gut.
on.
You just trust your gut.
That's the thing that you guys, it's trusting gut, following what resonates with you. That's the ease of interpreting dreams. Sorry that it's not more like fireworky and showow for you. I know.
You know when you're falling asleep at night and all of a sudden your whole body jerks because you think you're falling or tripping? Or
Hypnagogic state.
hypnagogic state.
Yeah. The
There you
point
have it.
before sleep and consciousness, conscious to unconscious sleep, that's the hypnagogic state where consciousness is unraveling and letting you go. But then sometimes it'll flare up. It'll come up quick and your body will do these great jerks and you'll come to.
Is that also the state that you're in? So I know this is not just happening to me. So you wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you're given a message.
Yes.
But you're awake? But
Yes.
you're just woke up. Is that hypnagogic too?
Yes, that is it. That it is the
I love it.
easiest point to communicate to spirits.
Yes.
Because you're,
Or for them to communicate to you.
yeah,
I mean,
you're in your
Yeah.
body, but you're awake and you're still connected to that other greater realm.
or you have all of a sudden this revelation like, don't go do that tomorrow. Or, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to think of something, or this would be a better idea.
Definitely sleep with pen and
Yeah.
paper so that you can get
Oh,
up and write
yeah.
these things down.
That's one of the reasons I kept that dream journal. I was doing a lot of writing at that time, and I went to a writer's workshop, and one of the part of the writer's workshop was a dream workshop that went along with it.
Oh, neat.
And the woman doing the dream workshop stated how many authors, Stephen King, all kinds of famous authors, dreamt their ending. I think there's been whole novels written and the author has dreamed a different ending. The main character even comes to them in the dream and says, no, this is what, and they change it. You'd be shocked at how many books are written that way. Through
That's
dreams.
really
And so
cool.
that's why I started keeping the dream journal. And then, you have this amazing creativity too, because your dreams are so creative. I had a dream one time that I wrote a Russian novel that was that thick. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, why am I doing that stuff in my dream, but I feel like I can't do that stuff? And
Why
we're
was
like,
it Russian?
I don't know. I'm thinking like something along the lines of like War and Peace, or, some kind of big, thick book. I wrote that in my dream.
When I come across it in my dreams, I'll have you sign it, Colleen.
But isn't that amazing what we're capable of in our dream state? I mean, I
Big
can
time.
fly chairs. I can write Russian novels. Just all kinds of stuff.
Well, another thing that you need to look for is repetition. So, Colleen, if you're constantly writing in your dreams, then it's showing you something of what consciously needs to be happening in your life. Like those dreams of flying. You guys ever have those? Or falling? Or running super fast? Or how about running, but nothing around you is moving? Like you're running full speed
worst.
and the walls are just slowly and the landscape slowly moving.
And you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere, but you are booking it.
That's the worst. I had a dream. This is kind of similar to this, but I had a dream one time that I had wet hair, and I think I was trying to get ready for prom. This is a long time ago. And my hair wouldn't dry, and none of my makeup would go on.
Oh, no!
You know what I mean? Like, instead of, like, running in place, I was just wet and disheveled and could not get myself to, like, none of the makeup would go on, the hair wouldn't dry. What's that
That's
madness
deep.
about?
That
That
is
was
real
one time,
deep.
but that stuck out. That stuck out in my dream world.
Those are the dreams I was talking about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because they leave a good stamp or marker.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have a repetitive dream as a child, and sometimes I still do. It's completely dark, there's no lights. I cannot tell if I'm indoors or outdoors. I have one ladder, and it is lit by some light source, and I climb it. And I constantly climb it, and I climb it for minutes at a time. Climb, climb,
And you
climb.
can't see an end.
I can never get to the top. I never fall. I'm never afraid. I know I'm far, far away from everything. I know not to let go. And then I wake up.
That's a lot of symbolism going on in that dream. Jamie Butler.
In between worlds. And this is like little kid dreaming.
Yeah.
4 or 5, I think.
But
the
you've
last
had it
time.
as an adult.
Yes. And I have dreams as a kid of talking in front of a glass podium. It looks like it's floating. And I'm in an auditorium that's tiered. There's 3 tiers, and I'm talking, and I remember looking at the work in front of me, and I just decide, I can't. I'm not going to do that. And I walk around the podium, I sit down on the stage, and my feet are hanging off like where the orchestra pit would be. And I just start talking and crying. And I'm crying in front of all these people. And I wake up.
Wow.
One day that's going to happen, Lumineers. And when it happens, I will freak out.
You're going to go, whoa.
And if you're in the
here it
crowd
is.
that day, just go, Jamie, keep going.
Remember that dream episode?
You're in the right place. Because I do. There's sometimes I'm invited to go lecture, and I find the podium that they've put out for me, and I'm like, is it going to be that podium? When I see that podium, I will know, because I had it again and again and again. It just would never stop, like the ladder.
It's like that. Where does that fall in line with deja vu type of stuff? Because that time where maybe you won't be as conscious of that podium, but once you're at the podium, and all of a sudden you're like, "Who? Been here before. I've done this before. Was it in a dream? Was it here?" I mean, I'm just kind of that might be in a whole different state.
It is.
But it happens a
but
lot.
If your subconscious is aware of other incarnations, if it's aware of other incarnations, then it's aware of other incarnations' dreams, thoughts, actions, goals, agreements, and so forth, and it can tie directly into the subconscious dreaming that you're doing in this life.
Gosh, no wonder we're so overwhelmed, Because we have all these different incarnations
I
going
wonder
on.
though, Colleen, do you think they were overwhelmed because we have all of that available, or are we overwhelmed because we refuse to believe we have all of that available? It's because we're trying to make it small.
Oh, I would believe it would be the first one. But that's just me.
Because
I can totally see both. But if there's so much, how sometimes you feel very overwhelmed, but when you really stop and think about it, there's not an overwhelming amount of stuff going on, but you feel really overwhelmed. I don't know, those other lives got to play a role in that. Right?
Well, it can, yes. We didn't hear that, but now we know.
Or when we, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to start bringing in different incarnations, dreams, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you can, in dream state, connect to other dreams that you are having in other incarnations. Those can overlap, absolutely. And sometimes, let's see it this way. I was mentioning about normal dreams. Lucid dreaming is where you're in control of your dream. And then we get into nightmares. Nightmares are situations that you would never find yourself in conscious state and being. You've never been through them, so you don't know how to risk manage it. You don't know how to prepare. You haven't pulled those skills out of your hat. And often, incarnations of you in other places are going through war, are going through difficult situations like rape or murder, survival, starving, all these things. And it could be a moment where some of you call it the veil is thin, or the energy is communicating well or properly, that situation can feed into this incarnation, and the subconscious is feeding it by running dreams about it. And therefore we go into panic because we've never been to war. We've never killed somebody. We've never had to fight for our lives, some of us. And we don't know how to manage it because it's not real to life for us in this state of being, and therefore it gets categorized as nightmare. So yes,
Yeah.
it can bleed across and over.
I'm thinking about like when we have unexplained anxiety and when we have unexplained depression, how another life could be playing a role in that.
Yes, could be pushing in on that. Even unexplained fears and phobias. At one age, at 33, up to 33, you could fly all around the world, it was fine. At 34, you can't even get onto an airplane. You can't even buy a ticket, you're done. So why is that happening? You didn't crash an airplane. You didn't even have a dream of crashing an airplane.
It's really something.
It is very something. That's why dreams are so valuable.
I have a question for you about lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Have you ever purposely lucid dreamed? I don't know how else to phrase that. Like, have you ever, like I'm talking about, once again, I'll bring up the Blue Lotus, but have you ever
Yes.
done that intention where you, before you go to sleep, you say, this is what I'm going to dream about, this is what I'm going to work out.
Yes.
I'm going to visit this other person in my dream.
Yes.
Yep.
In high school, I used to visit friends, and we would have memories of each other in dreams. But
And they would remember as well?
yes.
Yeah.
But specifically in college, I had a house that I would go to, and I could walk on all parts of the house, and it was fine. So gravity wasn't an issue in this place. I could walk on the ceiling, the walls, and there was always somebody else in there, but I never knew who it was. But I knew if I could get into the house, I could control whatever I wanted and needed. And so I would prep myself before I go to sleep. So if you, Lumineer, are interested in lucid dreaming, first of all, get the pen and paper and start dream journaling, just like Colleen was talking about before. Super valuable. Got to do it, guys. Put the work in.
It's
You won't
good
regret
stuff.
it.
It's making me want to do it again. I mean, I found it so valuable when I did it. You just keep the pen and paper right at your nightstand. If you wake up at 3, you write your stuff down. If you wake up at 7, you write your stuff down. But you always are writing down even little bits and pieces of your dreams, and it is really valuable.
Yeah, as soon as you can hook on to one concept or one thought or symbol in your dream, most likely the rest of it will follow through. So you're just going to pull it out of your head and put it on the paper. If you're not a fast writer, you can always do talk-to-text dictation on your smartphone or computer. Once you have a practice of journaling your dreams, then you want to pick an image, a symbol, an item, a place. For me, in college, it was that house. I designed it, I knew it, and I knew the rules once I got into it. And because I recognized that house so frequently in my conscious state, like I would think about the house, I would daydream about that location, I would know that if I saw it in a dream, it would trigger me to go, I'm in that place, I know I'm dreaming. And it would wake me up enough in my normal dream that I would then begin to lucid dream. I'd be aware that I could move, fly, go through walls. I'd be aware that I didn't need to eat, that I knew everything that was going on, and I could manipulate the whole dream. And it was amazing. And what I didn't finish in that lucid dream, I would then wake up, talk about it out loud. I'll go, okay, next time when I go back and I see that guy, I want to finish that conversation. I want to know that, and then I want to get into the other room. And then I would think about it all day in random places. Okay, that's what I want to do when I go to bed tonight. Like, that's my work for tonight. I would think about it, and therefore I would go through one more time before I close my eyes to go to bed. And I would go to bed at a reasonable hour. I'd make sure sheets are clean, the smell is great, the temperature is good, because I didn't want to be restless. I wanted to make sure that I ate well so that my body wasn't waking me up going, you're hungry, you're thirsty, get up, go, now you have to go potty, now you have to, I would tend to all of that stuff, right? So that I had good sleep, good REM, because I would need that to get back into the dream and then finish the story. Like, that's how much fun it was, is that it was like
Wow.
a soap opera at night. I had part 1, 2, 3.
I mean, it makes you want to go to
constantly just
sleep.
It was exciting. And there was a few times where it was a little bit disappointing waking up. Just realizing that was over, and I couldn't get back into it while I was awake. And I think that was the point really where I started, like, not doing it, because
Did you use
I
this
was
book?
I did, because I was spending so much time in lucid dreaming that it was eating up my time as a awake, daydreaming person. So getting back to the importance of dreaming is getting connected to the 4 different styles of dreaming. We have the daydreaming, normal dreaming, lucid dreaming, and then your nightmares, which are not really fun.
They're horrible.
Which, well, we didn't really talk about
We
nightmares
didn't talk about
so
nightmares.
much, but
Because why would you want to talk about them?
Nightmares are where you actually release a different kind of chemical. Your brain functions in a different way. It's very alive, like rapid eye movement, REM state. But there's a paralyzation that happens. There's a chemical release that happens in your body that tells your body, don't move. Stay put. But sometimes that doesn't kick in and you're able to wiggle and move about. How about those night walkers? Is anybody here like a sleepwalker? Does anybody like
I've known people
move
who've done it,
around
but-
and run? Like, I'm the only one in the room.
Do you actually get up and leave and go places?
I'll tell you my last one if you promise not to laugh. So, she's laughing already. Lumineers, if you've watched me long enough, you know that I'm not a fan of spiders. I don't mind the little ones. I mean, I'll touch them out. I never kill them. I move them out. But there is something that incontrollably inside of me I can't just maintain when I see a very large spider. So I was asleep, totally asleep in my bed. And I guess this was a dream, but it was very real to me. I thought it was real. Spiders started to come down the stairs, and they were walking on the wall. But these spiders were
spiders.
This big. They were big. Their bodies were like this big, and then they had legs like this. And they were hairy and black, and they were walking up on the ceiling and over the bed. And I'm not a dummy. I'm not going to stay in bed as the spiders are crawling on the ceiling above my head. So I braved it. And I ran like hell out of that bedroom and up those stairs and out of the house. I ran so fast and I was screaming. And
ran
guess what
out
was
of your
happening
house?
in real life? In real life,
have
I
no
was
idea.
screaming and I ran up the stairs and I was trying to get out of the house. There was spiders everywhere. So you get my kids, my husband. My husband was like, "What?" He like blocked me and grabbed me and was like, "What are you doing?"
Because you're about to head out the door?
I was getting out. I was saving myself.
Oh,
I didn't
my
know who
goodness.
else to save. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "The spiders! The spiders!" Still every now and then he's like, "Hey, remember those spiders we had in our house?" I'm like, "You are awful."
When was this?
It's like a few years ago.
Wow.
Like 3 years ago.
Have you ever actually left your home?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I've heard about people getting in their cars and stuff.
Oh, thank God I haven't done that.
You know,
But
like
yeah, I've
getting
gotten out.
and starting their cars or walking down the street. I don't have that in me. Like, it's just like, I don't even think I've ever even physically gotten out of bed and been still
Oh,
sleeping.
really?
Mm-mm. Ever.
Oh, yeah, there's sometimes I'll be, making stuff
No.
in my dreams, and I'm trying to pull things out and make it.
You're like knitting sweaters in your dreams.
But it's not.
I'm
all the
writing
time.
novels in my dreams, okay?
For me, it's not all the time. It's just maybe not even once or twice a year. So it's super non-frequent. But some of us, Lumineers, have it quite frequent.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so that is the chemical imbalance in the head as the dreams are happening. So the brain can't identify if it's real time or if it's dream time. And that's why your body is up and acting it out. And those can be almost categorized as nightmares. Mine, with the spiders, definitely was, but sometimes the actions aren't like,
It can just be simple everyday stuff, right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
My brother used to sleepwalk and try to catch cows at night because we had cows growing up. Sometimes they get out of the fence and you'd have to herd them back in. So he would try to go outside and put the cows back in.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. Good stuff. Good times. So in deciding how are you going to use your dreams, I would look at the 4 different styles and use them appropriately. So for your daydreaming, look at it as active creative brain getting into manifestation. What do you want to do productively with it? And if you have those haunting thoughts and dreams and worries and stuff that your subconscious has just been kind of tucking up under its arm, then go ahead and redo them into a positive format and start using that self-care technique. If you're using your normal dreams, I would dream journal them. Look at what's happening. Is there reoccurring themes, recurring action? Are there recurring symbols or colors, words? And start to look at what's showing up and what is it telling you? What does it mean to you? And if you don't know where to begin, what it means to you, then buy a book. buy a dream dictionary, interpretation, start there. And does it resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you? Roll from there forward.
There's a lot of great websites too.
Are there?
Like dream interpretation. I feel like there is.
I haven't checked them out recently. I usually just wait till I get to the office and go to the books.
Go to the books. Yep. I mean, I've looked stuff up online that resonated for dreams.
See, she's using dream interpretation.
Google's amazing.
Google is amazing. I will just stop there and give
I
a
mean,
little
you can find anything you need all the time.
Just like Blue Lotus.
You can find some Blue Lotus too.
If anybody sees
If
that,
it's still legal.
we don't know.
It's turning like to an infomercial for Blue Lotus.
Maybe they'll call us and donate some money to keep our lights on. Probably not. But when you start to dream journal and use dream interpretation, then you have access to get into lucid dreaming, which is a whole nother world of bringing your subconscious to your conscious level, kind of flushing out themes, agreements. This is where you can merge in with people who've already crossed over, animals who've crossed over, even into other lifetimes. You can bring them forward and kind of pull it all together. It's great work. And then as for our nightmares, we can see those as, what do we need to put to rest? What are we allowing to control our lives in today's aspect? And how can we embrace them and accept them? Most likely then, those dreams will go away. So I hope this has helped you in the world of, what do I do with a dream? How do I interpret a dream? And at least knowing the styles of dreaming and how important it is. Log in those hours every day, making big dreams, like I'm over here dreaming about starting a network. I can see it. Many other podcasters all talking about great things and not motivated by sponsors' monies. We are going to make that happen. That's a great dream.
That's a great dream.
Start daydreaming like that. Yeah. Oh, I should probably say goodbye to you before I get into it. Thank you, Lumineers, for lending us your ear. Take care. Remember, it's not woo-woo, it's true-true. Bye, Lumineers. Thank you, Colleen. You're a good sport.
It's good.
It's just good. And I'm going to go to daydream now.